We are back and we are here with the heavily anticipated Trevor Woods breakdown because I've been for a while saying I love Trevor Woods. I think he's going to be an absolute dog at linebacker, and people keep saying that he's too small, he's undersized to be successful there. So we're going to break down the film and we're going to see, can Trevor Woods succeed at linebacker this year? Stay tuned.
Well, hello, who's next? Can't nobody stop us cause we bumped and grind. Well, hello, who's next? Are you capping, talking sauce, do your words match your video? Well, hello, who's next? Can't nobody stop us cause we bumped and grind.
Kick us off, CT.
Yo, welcome back, world. You at Buff and Prime, the one and only, the CT the fan, T Cal the professor. We back in the film class. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Trevor Woods.
So we're going to talk about Trevor Woods, and I feel like there's a lot of very unnecessary Trevor Woods hate out there. Like, I feel like a lot of people feel a certain type of way about him and don't think that he's very good. And he stood out to me on TV film like the entire season. I was texting a bunch of my homeboys during the TCU game, seeing him fly around and hit. I said, okay, I like him. The interception he had against TCU was crazy. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then he obviously, if you don't know, I'm sure you do know that Trevor ended up being asked to play linebacker midway through the season last year. So a lot of challenges that happened with that, but there's a lot of good things that I saw. And early in the spring, he was listed as one of the projected starters for linebacker. So we're going to get more into Trevor, talk more about him as well and what we expect from him this season. But something that we got to talk about, and we appreciate y'all for helping us get here and to this point, and that is Patreon. We are live on Patreon. All you got to do is search Buffed and Prime. Once you search Buffed and Prime, you'll see 3 different membership tiers. We got the Buffed Early Access, which gives you access to private live streams, early access to videos like this, because if you are on Patreon, you're watching this first before everybody else. Then we have, which is, I like this one a lot. This is the Buff Film Pro. So the Buff Film Pro, you get a lot. So with Buff Film Pro, we have ad-free videos at release directly into Patreon. You get everything in the previous tier. You get the private community chat. Along with the private community chat, you get the early access to opponent film breakdowns. You can get full all 22 of Colorado games, and that's where you see the film that we break down, but just to where you can watch it. So you can see for yourself, things you might see. You get 1 player breakdown request every month, any team. And we're also going to be doing non-Colorado football player breakdown. So we're going to be expanding to more of that. Now, CT, I know what your favorite tier is. So go ahead and tell them about your favorite tier.
Now, the best tier, the Buff and Prime tier, the Buff Bets and Fantasy Football. To me, any other tier is just unacceptable because you get everything from the bottom 2 tiers, but you're sitting on top. You get the betting and you get the fantasy football. So, I mean, that to me is why bother with the other ones, right?
And in the Buff Bets, we got the private community chat. As far as fantasy football, we're going to be doing rookie breakdowns, just like we always do, of what rookies you guys need to be watching for in your fantasy teams. We're also going to do NFL breakdowns, so you'll be able to see all 22 and see who had a great season last year, who we expect to break out. On top of that, we're going to have our own fantasy football rankings. We're going to have a weekly NFL and college betting show where we talk about who we're picking for the week.
Right there.
I mean, you guys are getting access to the film, so you guys can make your own judgments and opinions, but you guys can hop in there. And like I said, the private community chat where you guys are going to have full access to us and ask us questions or whatever y'all want. So there's a lot of great things happening with that. And yeah, we're just excited to get it going. So remember, Buffed and Prime on Patreon, and come holla at us.
Come on, holla at us. Come get on, man.
That went big.
Start to the top tier. You don't get better than that. I'm telling you, everything else. I mean, because you get it all, but
yeah,
the fantasy football in the bets. Come on, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, and I know you're obsessed with fantasy, so we're definitely excited for the fantasy football aspect to start. And on top of that, bro, if y'all in the Buff Bets, the college football video games getting ready to come out, I'm going to be doing an online dynasty on college football, and anybody who is in the Buff Bets can get invited to the private Buffed and Prime college football dynasty. And we're gonna try to get CT on it. CT don't be on the video games that much, but we're gonna try to get him on it. Somebody may be able to just
Hey,
run it up on him.
hey, let me tell you something. We get 100. We get 100 in his buff bets. I'm in. I'll be
That'll be
preseason, but
perfect.
I'm in.
That'll be perfect. So CT, talk to us a little bit about Trevor Woods and where he comes from, his history at CU, and then we're gonna get into the film breakdown. But real quick before that, y'all know y'all gotta like, share, comment, subscribe. This helps boost the channel so more people can see the type of film breakdowns that we do. And yeah, just help to continue growing the channel. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's talk about Trevor Woods. I really like this guy. He's born in Houston, Texas, 2022. He came up out of high school as a 3-star
Hold on, he was
recruit.
born in 2022. I know he wasn't born in
Trevor,
2022.
cut that. He's born in 2002.
All right, 2002.
That's a good one. That's a good one. 3-star recruit by Recruiting Service 24/7 listed him as the number 102 safety in the class, and he was the number 183 player in Texas. As a freshman, he came to Colorado. He played in 10 games his true freshman season with 1 start coming against California. On defense, he played 139 snaps and finished the season with 23 tackles, 13 solo, and a pass breakup. He also saw action on the special teams, 3 points, 2 knockdowns, and blocked kick. He's good. As a sophomore, he gets better. He played in 10 games, 10 seasons. He has 66 unassisted tackles. That's crazy.
That's a lot. 66 solos is a lot.
Yeah, 84 total tackles. He had 2 tackles for a loss, 8 third down stops, 2 forced fumbles, 5 pass breakups, and 1 interception. Yeah, he balled. He balled. And then
last year,
let's get to the junior year, 2023. Coach Prime is in the building. He played and started in 9 games, missed 3 games due to an injury. So remember that. Started 4 games at inside linebacker. So not only did he miss 3 games as an injury, he switched positions in the middle of the season.
Mid-season.
Crazy. So he recorded 42 unassisted tackles, 56 total tackles, third most on the team during the season. He had 9 tackles, a forced fumble, and an interception in the end zone in the season over against TCU. And I think we all remember that interception.
Yeah, the interception was bananas. Absolutely.
He had a career high 12 total tackles against UCLA. He registered his 3rd career interception and a big win over Colorado State. Love that.
Yeah, that was a big one, and I don't have that on here. But yeah, that was a big one in the end zone to send him home. I remember he punted the ball. So yeah, man, Trevor Woods he's been a part of the program since the beginning. I know that Coach Prime came in and tried to run guys off. He tried to see, who wanted to stay, who wanted to compete, and who wanted to prove themselves. Trevor was one of them. I think one of only 3 that stayed when Coach Prime came. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he got his jersey number first last year. Remember the spring when no one had jersey numbers?
Right.
And Coach Prime said you had to earn them. I believe he was the first one. And a lot of people thought it was more of a publicity thing. But then when film came on, he's like, oh, he could play.
He could play. What do you think? What do you think about that? How difficult is it to make that switch during the midseason from safety to linebacker?
I mean, it's tough regardless, but we see from watching this film, and again, if you're new here, I played in this defense, the Nick Saban tree defense, so I know how difficult it is year one. So going from trying to figure out the system as a safety and then getting thrust into it as a linebacker, where we saw all of our linebackers struggle as far as knowing what to do and knowing the responsibilities and stuff. I mean, it was almost mission impossible. So I think he did great for one, being in a new position, but 2, being in a new position in a new scheme and going straight to it. Like UCLA, I believe, was his first game at linebacker. And the game before, if I'm not mistaken, he was at safety. So literally just switched.
He switched in the middle of the Stanford game, and that was a wrap.
Yeah, and something I heard, I think Trevor said in the interview, he was in the safety meeting room and film room the entire year. So even though he was playing linebacker, he wasn't even in those linebacker meetings, which that doesn't make sense to me. And that's not something Trevor chose, but I'm saying from a standpoint of coaching and trying to get a guy ready, I don't understand
why you still have him with the safeties, even though he's a linebacker now.
Yeah, don't understand that. But let's get into the film. So we're gonna start with some TCU just so we can just see some plays of how he was playing at safety, and then we're gonna get into the linebacker film. So let's get to it, man. Let's see what Trevor Woods is talking about. If I can get this thing rolling. All right. Perfect. So we got him here at safety, comes down, makes a great hit. And this was early in the game, bro. I think this might have been the first drive of the game. And I was like, okay, I like him. I like him. Like the way he closes, like the way he hits. That's okay. He's big and kid. Now, this is the play. This is the play that everybody remembers because, I mean, it was special. Like I was.
What defense you think that? What scheme you think? I mean, what defense they're in right now?
So this play specifically is called 1Y, which is man coverage scheme. What more specific is called Trojan 1Y. We got an odd front right here, 3-0-3, and then everybody else is supposed to be man coverage. You have these two guys right here. They're called low hole rat players or robbers. So their job is to basically be in the way of any crossing routes, any routes down here. Now, we know Shiloh came on our video and commented and said this was buzz coverage. I ain't going to lie to you, Shiloh. I ain't never seen a man coverage scheme where everybody's a man, but then number 3 goes uncovered. So, that could be something new that they threw in. But Trevor makes a incredible play on the ball right here. And this quarterback thinks it's open right now. So as you can see, man coverage, man coverage, man coverage, man coverage. Shiloh said he was playing buzz, and the guy's open at this point. Trevor comes from here, high points it. They never saw him coming. Never had a chance, and I love it.
So when you say man coverage, break that down to man coverage to me is whoever's lined up in front of me, I follow you everywhere.
That's it.
Right? Okay.
There's another term for it. Actually, in this defense, specifically, it's called MEG, MEG. What MEG means is man everywhere he goes. So no matter where
That's
they go,
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep, that is MEG. All right, so I want to show a few clips from at TCU so y'all can see he's a ball player now. He's a ball player. And this is him versus UCLA. First game playing linebacker. I believe he had 12 tackles. Now I'm going to tell you that they weren't all pretty tackles. They weren't all pretty tackles, but he's getting a feel for the game. So, as I talk about on here very often, defense, especially stopping the run, it's all about gaps and gap discipline. What a gap is between these two players, that's an A gap. This is also an A gap, so it corresponds on both sides. Then we have a B gap right here. We have another B gap right here, a C gap between these two players, a C gap outside of him, and then a D gap on this side. So when you're playing football and you're trying to stop the run, you have to make sure all your gaps are accounted for. Most of the time when you see big runs happen, it's because somebody missed their gap. So it's really important to be able to get in your gap. Now, this looks like, from the way it's ran, a cross blitz. I know we had a lot of cross blitzes in this defense when I played in it. Kentucky, Alabama were the names of some of them. Now, what I mean by that is we see, let me go back just a second. Trevor's from all the way over here, his gap's over here, and then this linebacker's crossing to this side. So these two are going to cross into these gaps. So watch how this plays out. So he goes there. Trevor comes down, but he's getting pushed out, and there's a huge hole there, and they get a good run. Now, my critique on this, Trevor's new here. If I'm coaching Trevor and I know he's new to playing linebacker and new to playing this system, if I know he has to get to this B gap over here, I'm going to line him up like right here. So he has a much shorter path. Because if you look at it, imagine Trevor lined up right here. He's able to come downhill right now, come right off of this block. And man, this guy doesn't, he has no chance to get to him. If Trevor's lined up right over him and comes right here fast, he has no chance to get to him. Trevor could be blasting the guy in the backfield.
But go back and also look at that defensive line play right here. Looks like two of our defensive linemen hit the same gap. So it frees up the guy to get to Trevor. You see this? Look how both crashed on 74. Both crashed on the UCLA player.
No, so they're in their own gaps. So this is the gap.
Oh, okay.
So he's in his A gap, he's in his B gap. That's how it's all supposed to fit out. So no, they're doing everything right there. And then this guy's getting to his A gap. This is the only gap that's open right now, and this is Trevor's B gap. And that's what I'm talking about with the alignment. If we put Trevor closer to his gap, he can be faster, and the gap doesn't have a chance to open like this. And also, that center doesn't get able to get up on you to the second level and open it up. So, yeah, in defense, there's a ton of disguises. People disguise coverages, blitzes all the time, but your disguise can never override your ability to get to your assignment. And for a guy that just started playing linebacker, if I'm coaching him, I'm not letting him disguise. I'm sorry. You gonna come right here. That's your gap. Go get it. So we got him right here. Drops back, sees a pass on the screen, comes, makes a great hit. Really good play, instinctive play. He's a football player. He's gonna find a way to be around the ball. Great tackle by him right there. All right, got him here at linebacker. So what I talk about with undersized linebackers and why I know undersized linebackers can succeed is because they can use their speed and instincts to their advantage. You don't have to be a big linebacker to be successful. Ray Lewis played in college at 215 and was dominant, obviously. Trevor was listed at 205 last year. Or this spring, I believe. So he's 10 pounds off. So the size isn't everything. It's the instincts and the speed. Right here, we see a glimpse of that on how Trevor's able to basically finesse his way through his gap untouched to get in the backfield. Now, the reason this play happens like this, we got Cameron Silman Craig right here. He's doing his job. He's getting crack blocked, meaning the receiver's coming to block down on him. Anytime that happens, you have to have crack replaced. So this corner, which I believe is Omarion Cooper, he needs to be screaming down the field right now and be on the outside. If that happens and it's contained, then that helps it for Cameron or Trevor to be able to make the tackle back there.
Oh, facts. That's one thing about watching this all 22 film. You just, when you're trying to cover one player, you start to see like, hey, there's multiple reasons why. This
absolutely happens. So like, this is what I love. He's able to get skinny, what I call it, get skinny through that gap untouched. And if we have both of our guys out here, this running back's not going to be able to run full speed there. So Trevor can just keep running through and possibly get a tackle for a loss.
So if the other cornerback would have came down with the crack replacement, the running back might have put his foot in the ground and tried to cut back.
He would have had to, unless he wanted to get blasted.
And Trevor would have been there.
He didn't have no choice about putting his foot in the ground. He was going to get hit. So here we got Trevor at linebacker. He's in zone coverage, dropping back. Sees the quarterback scrambling, takes off, and goes and makes a great tackle.
Yeah.
And this is the benefit when you have quarterback scrambling of playing zone coverage. Because in zone coverage, everyone's eyes are on the quarterback. So Trevor was in man right here and in a different position. He'd just be staring at his man. And you see quarterbacks score all the time in man coverage because nobody has any idea what's going on. They're just looking at their man. But quarterback takes off. Trevor sees him, goes and makes a great tackle to stop him from getting to the goal line.
Land the wood. Love it, Trevor.
Here it is from another angle, from the tight. He's passing the route off on a guy and says, all right, let me go get him. Makes a great tackle.
Like that, bro. Like that.
All right, so I got it right here. Read the pulls.
Pulls take you to the ball.
Pulls take you to the ball, and we're going to show it from the tight so you can see what I'm talking about.
That's a cold missed tackle.
I didn't see who missed it. So this is what a pull is, and this is what Trevor needs to do in this situation. So a pull is, in this case, a tackle who's starting on this side of the ball and is going to pull all the way over here. Now, when he pulls over here, majority of the time, the runs go towards where the pulls are. They pull for a reason. Now, sometimes you can have some different type of plays, but majority of the time, pulls are going to take you to the ball. So it's important for linebackers to be able to read pulls. Now, let's watch what happens here. So we got him pulling. He's coming back here. Trevor doesn't see the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevor is coming to this gap. Now, if Trevor was able to see the pool, he would come right here, see the pool. He'd put his foot in the ground and come back outside here and be waiting right here in this gap for the quarterback.
You saw the missed tackle by the cornerback. You see
Let
his
me
number
see.
right when the running
No,
back hit
that's
the
safety. That's Rod Ward.
yeah, right
Yeah, that's the
there.
quarterback that did him like that. But yeah, so that's what we need to see from linebackers better. And linebackers as a whole had a lot of trouble last year reading pools for us. Like a lot of times it looked like we didn't know what we were doing out there. So here we got Trevor. So the note I have on this play is shoot the gap. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. So we'll see it better from the other angle, but I believe he could have made this tackle in the backfield.
You know what you always talk about? You said it's like when the linemen meet, which side is the blue jerseys going to the white side or the white jerseys going to you
At the line
watch
of
this
scrimmage.
play, man, the blue jerseys are like 3 yards pushing white, like 3 yards behind.
Now we're looking for. So these are their gaps on this play, and we'll see how it plays out. So Trevor has this A gap right here. Let's see what happens. So here's the A gap. This is his gap. This is his gap. This is his gap. And the ball doesn't hit in its gap. But what I want you to look at, all right, if he runs full speed or not even just full speed, let's see. I'm going to show you how far the line goes before so that step is really I'd even call that a false step because it's not going anywhere. So he puts it up, puts it back down. Before he takes his step, the line in his gap had moved this far over. So what I want to see him do better is anticipate. Like as soon as the ball's hiked, be coming down. Hey, I know where my gap is. I got to go get it. Or like I spoke about before, if he even aligns different.
That's what I was going to say. Why did they line him so far over if his gap's that far over that way?
So you don't want to always have your linebackers right in their gap because one, that makes it super easy for the offensive line to know who they're going to block. That makes it easy for the quarterback and running back to read the defense. So you want to be able to give base looks. Like that's when defenses are their best. So if a defense comes out and looks the same, have the same alignment every single play, but can run 100 different plays out of it, then it makes it really hard for the offense and the other team's coaches to get a read on what you're doing. So it is good to be able to disguise and have different alignments. But again, your alignment cannot override your assignment. Like you have to be able to get to your assignment. So if he shoots this and is quicker on the first step, right here, he could be in this gap already, diving and making a tackle right there. And I know he's capable of it because we have film of it. So we'll talk about that some more as well. As we get more film, here he is here. So I like this play from him. In this game, he did struggle a lot getting off of blocks of linemen because it's something that he's not used to. Like that's
coming from safety, right? Yeah, that's not. Yeah, exactly.
No, not these boys. These some big boys. So watch him right here. Takes on this lineman, sheds off the block. Great shed.
Nice.
And then comes and gets in on the tackle. Love that from him. Absolutely love it. All right, dropping back in pass coverage. Okay, so this is what I really like. This is where you see the DB in them. So a lot of pass coverages in this defense are match coverages. So if you guys seen the Travis Hunter video, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have, I talk about Travis Hunter's pick at the goal line. And on that pick at the goal line, I talk about how his job was the final number one, meaning the final number one receiver. So the way we count receivers is 1, 2, and 3. We count them from outside in. So this is number one receiver on this side. This is the number 2 receiver. Number 1 receiver on this side. Number 2, number 3. Trevor's job in this, and I'm not sure, this might be cover 6. And it's not, if you know football, it's not the cover 6 you're thinking. It's a Ripley's match cover 6. So Trevor in this either has what's called 3 up is 3, which I believe he has, or you could just call it the final number 3. So watch how he plays this perfect. So he's dropping. Here's the number 3 receiver. Number 3 goes out. So now who's the new number 3, CT?
This guy. You can't see me.
I mean,
Yeah, because
this
I
guy
don't
right
remember the
here.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So like I don't have.
So as soon as he crosses, he's the number 2. He's the number 3. So watch how Trevor processes this. He goes straight to the number 3. If
Mhm.
the quarterback wanted to throw it there, Trevor's right there in the passing window. So this is really good. This is showing his understanding of the game, his IQ, how he's able to pass that off and get to the new number 3 and help on that. So I really
But
like.
why? Can I just ask you just me just
Mhm.
asking the question as a fan? When you go back to that play, why wouldn't Trevor see? I feel like Trevor would have had better see, instead of this defensive back breaking all the way down, and he missed the tackle, by the way, on this guy. Because it seemed like if Trevor would have kept with this guy, that safety was there to get the new number 3 guy we talked about.
So the safety's responsibility right here is he has this guy up. Well, really, he has him
Oh,
out
I see what you
for the
mean.
most part.
Okay,
So
gotcha,
if he
gotcha.
goes out, that's him to take him out. Because if he takes this guy right here, there's no way Trevor can get to that, like, at
Got you,
all.
got you, got
He's
you, got
playing
you.
this far inside leverage, like there's not a chance.
That's why you
So
got all the knowledge.
so Cam right here, he has to break downhill quicker to take the new number 2, and then
Mhm.
Trevor comes and takes the new number 3. But yeah, really like Trevor's football IQ and being able to understand the route concepts and read that. So he's at linebacker again. So part of this was a good play on Trevor, but there is something that I've seen on film from him, and
Mhm.
that is a lot of times on tackles, he leans forward and like almost like head heavy, and he doesn't bring his feet with him. What I mean by bringing his feet with him is on contact, continuing to run his feet, and that can lead
Mhm.
to some broken tackles. So it's like he lunges out, and right here he was just off balance. But I have
Mhm.
another clip I'll show from the next game. So that's not the position you want to be in on contact because you have no leverage
Yeah,
underneath
no
you.
leverage.
The
Yeah,
guy,
no.
the guy ends up breaking the tackle. The fit and how he flowed to the ball was good, but that part, the on contact needs to be worked on.
You know what, man? I think that defensive line should Josie McNeil and them guys, they're gonna do wonders for Travis this year
Hmm.
because because Shadozi, the block bully, eating up 2 blocks, he's gonna see
Yeah.
less linemen breaking. Like as soon as they hike the ball, he
Yeah.
got a
It was
lineman in his face.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an offensive lineman in his face. That's crazy. That's
Yeah. That was not an
crazy.
ideal situation. Right here, again, he's undersized.
Hmm.
He's coming down. He trips a little bit, I think, coming down here, but you got to be ready to be really violent. He
Mm.
gets pancaked by the running back. Part of the game, I'd have been pancaked on blocks before too. You just got to come downhill and be real violent. So we have him here at linebacker. Just a great pass deflection on this play. And as you know, we talked about that would have been pick number 3 for Travis, but
Mhm.
IQ and instincts, great,
Just knew it. Like
absolutely great.
it's always awesome when you see your defensive player know to play. Like he just knew it, bro.
And shoot, somebody could have been catching this off the rebound.
Oh,
That could have been a
yeah.
pick six. Like, there's a lot
Mhm.
that could happen there. So that's a fantastic play by Trevor. Right here's a good one. I'm not even sure what they're in right. Looks like cover 2. Yeah, it's a cover 2 match, meaning these safeties are high. We got one high safety here, one high safety here. So we have 2 high safeties, cover 2.
Mhm.
They're playing a match out of it. So Trevor's matching to this number 3 receiver. So as soon as it's hiked, Trevor sees him, goes and gets it, makes the tackle. Now that's 3rd and 4. Probably wouldn't be my coverage of choice in that
Mhm.
situation.
Hey,
But
speak on that. Speak on that. How important it is to call these defensive plays and make sure you got your people in the right place. Because you
I
could
mean, that
call
could
the wrong
change.
coverage and it
Mhm.
makes like the player look bad. But if you had a
Yeah.
better coverage call, play call, it wouldn't have been
Yeah.
as bad, right?
And that's what's just crazy when people talk about Shador as a quarterback and say he only had 4 wins.
Mhm.
Like I hate when people talk about wins as an
Wins and
individual stat.
losses.
Like, do you know how much goes into a game? How many people need to be doing the right thing? How many coaches need to be calling the right plays for everything to work out well? Like, it's just insane to me that people say
I
that.
don't like you to use wins just because I think of that Tampa Bay quarterback and then the Baltimore quarterback.
Trent
Like,
Dilfer, yeah, I
who
mean,
got all
yeah,
those wins? Who are we really
exactly.
talking about, right?
So on this play, so Trevor ends up getting in on the tackle. We're gonna see it from the tight angle. Here he is right here, comes over. So he comes into this gap. And what I liked about this is he's able to get off of the blocker. And he doesn't just run away. Like, you see him extend and push the blocker off, get off the ball and get to it. These are the traits that I'm looking for to see if a guy can play linebacker undersized. Can you take on a lineman? And like, he threw him off. Like, that wasn't
Hey,
no light throw off.
this is what I like about him. This is about showing you I've been paying attention in your film study.
Okay, talk to me.
Watch an engagement with the lineman. Watch where Trevor's head is.
Mm-hmm.
And you always talk about that. Watch where he look.
Yep.
If he's
Because you
seeing
don't want guys that have their head in like this, because then you have no idea what's going on. So
exactly.
yeah, he's able to read, he's able to extend, he's able to shed, able to get off of it and make a good play. That was a really good play by him. And again,
Trevor.
that's why I don't care about stat sheets. I don't care about highlights and stuff like that. I want to see these type of plays. I can tell how good of a player you are and the potential that you have from these type of plays. And I see those a lot from Trevor. All right, we got him versus Arizona now. So this is a few games later, I believe, and you're going to see a difference for sure.
And this is all why they still have him in the safety room.
Yeah. Yeah, that was surprising to hear. Surprising to hear for sure. So, God, they had some big linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes down here. Somebody missed their gap on this side. Okay, Bentley has to be right here. That's Bentley's gap. He doesn't get off him, so it gets through. But here's some big linemen and gets a hold of Trevor. Trevor gets off and makes a tackle. He doesn't shock and shed him like he did the last play, but he gets off. But I'm going to show more clips throughout the game to show how he progressed. All right, got him right here. So this is another one. I want him to trust his eyes. Trevor, you are an athlete. Use that to your advantage. Don't run to here. I want him to run him down and make that tackle behind.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's capable of doing that. And you can see his speed is a lot better here. As far as now, I do want him to get some more ground with this foot first instead of moving that foot. But, that's coaching. But you see, as soon as the line starts to move, he's moving. But I want him running full speed, and I know he can make that tackle in the backfield. Ends up hitting for a decent game.
Look, I know this is a Trevor Woods video, but it's hard for me to look at Trevor Woods and be critical of him. And I'm watching the defensive lineman getting blown off the ball. No anchors. Bro.
Yep. Yeah, we weren't where we needed to be last year. So here's a really good play from Trev. You'll see him right here. We'll show it from the tight angle as well. Gets on this block, sheds, makes a tackle. That's a good play. That's a linebacker play, and that's from an undersized linebacker.
Yeah. That's all I like.
All right, let's check it out from the tight. Hey, he's thirsty now. This is the game I saw. Okay, he can do it. Now, mind you, I said that before seeing any All-22 film. I didn't even watch most of this game because I was working. I've been said he could do it because I saw the way he played. But when I watched his All-22.
Can you explain me this defensive lineman position, right? Or is that a linebacker? Like, why is he lined up like that?
Right here?
Yeah.
So this defense, would be the jack linebacker. And when you're out here, you line up like that, or you can line up like that. So he's not going to have his hand in the dirt. He's playing a shade technique. These guys are both in 3 techniques, which is the inside shoulder of the tackles. This looks like Trojan odd, which is what we had. So it'd be 3 down linemen, 3. Usually this is a 0, and then a 3, and then your jack linebacker out here. So yeah, no, that's a normal stance for this type of defense. So Trevor takes off, and what I was saying, he's being thirsty now. He's ready. Look at him start stepping down early. He's ready to come make contact. So he comes down, and this looks like this is his A, this is his B, and then Amari has this A. Gets contacted right here. Sheds the contact. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Look at that pop. Yeah, coming in. It's a completely different than the UCLA game. Like, he's coming downhill violently, and that's what you need from a linebacker. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're 250. That's not necessary to be an elite linebacker.
Not the 250 though.
That's the old school. Them old school linebackers was big. They were big. So here's the play. He got caught. He got caught on a lineman. Gave him his whole body, and yeah, that's a big boy.
Oh yeah.
That's a big boy. Number 72. That's a big boy. We'll see it here.
Yeah,
So this, and it's because Trevor's not as fast downhill on this. He's more hesitant. Where I think if he shoots this gap, he can shoot this gap and then curve around to make the tackle. But you got to do it quickly, and then the ball ends up. Luckily, we end up getting a stop on it. But yeah, gotta be quick. Here's Trevor right here. This guy drops the ball. If he doesn't drop the ball, I think it's just like that UCLA. Yeah, just like the UCLA play. I think Trevor blows him up. Great instincts. Great pursuit to the ball. All right, this is the same number 72. Now, again, you watch it from this angle. This is basically the angle you get on TV. You don't see what's happening. You don't know how good of a play this is by Trevor. But when you have all 22, you can break it down and see, hey, what was he doing? So we bring, this is obviously a run play. So this is the box of a defense. It's the tackle box. So like right outside the tackle and right outside this offensive tackle, this is what's called the box. And on defense, it's about 8 to 10 yards deep. That's the box. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linemen, which creates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gaps. We only got 5 guys in the box right now. So I got 5 linemen to block 5 people and a running back. I'm running the ball. So I know this is going to be a run. Now we got somebody else come creep in late because it's a blitz. Trevor comes down. This play's made because Trevor holds his gap. This is not a highlight play. This doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
Put his anchor down.
We just saw 72 push him 20 yards down the field the play before. This is the same 72. Bro, just like when we watched Shadozi's film. Here's where contact's made. Let me know how far he moves Trevor.
Nowhere. And they say
making the play
at 205
without making the play.
With a big old lineman on you.
Moves Trevor all the way out here.
That's a touchdown.
Then I don't know about touchdown. But he's getting probably at least.
Look, I mean,
15, 20.
If he breaks through here, if this receiver sees it and he blocks this defensive back, he gone, bro. Like, watch.
I can't say he getting past. We got 3-on-1 in the secondary. We got to have some faith in our secondary. I ain't gonna call that a touchdown. We got to win that 3-on-1. Have to.
This year,
have to. Here's Trevor outside here. Again,
ooh,
awareness.
Good play.
Gets another ball batted down.
Say, hey, any linebackers or cornerbacks that's gonna be playing next to Trevor? He's good for batting them balls in the air.
Yeah,
keep them heads up.
Really good. High IQ plays, and not just IQ, but instincts. He's an instinctual player. So right here, he knows that he can see the quarterback. He knows he's not going to get home. Getting home means getting to the quarterback. So if I'm not going to get home, I need to affect the play in a different way. That's the ball.
That's my God.
Great play by him.
You bring it out there. Hey, Trevor, the next block ball you do the Matumbo. Whack that finger.
That'd be hilarious. So we got him dropping in coverage right here. Comes up, misses this tackle, and this is what I was talking about with
looks
what
like
he needs to clean up.
The ball.
Nah, so he stops his feet,
Uh-huh.
and you see his head getting heavy. He's not trying to strip the
Oh,
ball. The guy
yeah,
cuts back
yeah,
against
yeah.
him, and he
I see
misses the
it.
tackle. So
Mm.
that's something that he definitely needs to work on, is not stopping his feet and not leaning forward, because then you lose your ability to move side to side. You lock out your hips, and then plays like this happen. And you see he's upset with himself on that one. Let's watch him here. So again, this is a play that I expect him to make. This should be an interception. This
Yeah.
has to be an interception. So let me go back to this wide for you guys. So we got 3 receivers on this side,
Mm-hmm.
1 receiver over here, and 1 running back over here. So right now, as this play starts, so Trevor's playing zone coverage. His zone is over here, most likely. It's probably a hook. It's probably a hook zone. So actually, his zone will be like right over here. So he starts off with 2 threats: this running back and this receiver. As the play goes, we see the running back doesn't go out that way. So now he has 1 threat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's reading the quarterback, and that's what's causing him to run out here. But he peaks right here. I
Mm-hmm.
think he thinks this is going to be a hitch route or a stop route where the guy's going to turn around and stop right here. So as he's running there, he needs to be able to feel this receiver. He has to be able to feel him, put his foot in the ground, and then come and get that interception. And I'll show it from the other angle so you can, see more what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, this is a perfect setup for him. I have no other threats. I just have this receiver over here. The quarterback staring over here. Perfect time. So and that's a little bit why this happened, is he's looking at the receiver too much. Where, like, remember on Travis Hunter's breakdown, we showed how Travis Hunter's just staring at the quarterback.
The predator stares down the prey.
He understands enough from the quarterback's body language, from their eyes, of being able to tell him where the receiver is. So by the time Trevor turns, now it's really too late.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he turns and looks at the quarterback. In zone, I want you staring at the quarterback. So I want you dropping right here and then put your foot in the ground, because you can see the way he's angled. There's no way he throws out here on a stop route at this angle.
Mm-hmm.
He's angled to throw the ball right there. So Trevor sees that too late. And had he been in that position, put his foot in the ground, that could be an interception for him.
Look at that quarterback was just throwing it somewhere else.
Yeah. All right, where's Trevor on this play? Did I miss him? Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting that instincts ready to trigger.
Wow.
And he just tripped. Otherwise, that could be a sack. And to get a sack on a screenplay like this, where the ball's going to be out quick, is crazy. Absolutely. Like, you see him come like a bullet. Yeah. This is what I was talking about, that UCLA game. Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to see you go get it. When you know your gap and know your response, go get it. And you can see that there. You can see the anticipation. So, like I said, I'm seeing all.
That's wild. I mean, they got to get the communication up and the level of the defense. It looks like Trevor knew the play, but the cornerbacks had no idea, because it's crazy to see this play get that many yards.
So this isn't as much about Trevor knowing the play as him knowing his responsibility and timing up the snap count. So it's not about him knowing the play in general. It's him.
Snap count. Right.
He has it timed perfectly. He's the only one moving right now. That's timing the snap count. And then we'll see this next. We'll see this next clip. Oh, no, we'll show this from another angle. Then we'll see the next one, which is a really good play. Man, I love that. He just got tripped up. All right. So when I talk about these traits that I see and that I know will be able to succeed at, and why Trevor, I know he'll be able to succeed at linebacker, is because I know what I'm watching. I know what to look for. I know the things to see. So remember, I talked to you about shooting the gap. We've seen pieces here and there. We haven't seen them fully put it together and make the play, but we've seen the potential to do it. And that's the actual everything into one. This is an amazing play by Trevor. Trigger, go get it. makes a tackle on the back. That's a hell of a
Get
play
that
by
tackle for
Trevor.
loss. Yeah, he got it, bro.
Love this play by him. So remember before I was showing how his gap got big because he was waiting. He wasn't coming downhill. He's coming downhill now. He's not waiting to try to get around this guy or anything. He's triggering. Even though he gets pushed a little bit by 71 here, still is able to make a
Make the
hell of a
tackle,
tackle.
right?
That's a
Yeah.
great football play. He's a football player. He has to be on the field. We'll be able to see how impressive it is from this angle. Great play. But all I hear is he's too small to play linebacker. And all I've been saying, matter of fact, I might have to do a short or clip it into this video where I said way back before we had any all 22, before we watched anything, I said Trevor Woods can be successful at linebacker being undersized. Like that. That's such an overrated thing to look at. Great play by him. Fantastic play. All right. Got a few more clips. Let's see. Another really good play by him. And not just a really good play, but I like how he got nasty on this. So he comes, takes on contact there, staying outside. He's getting held. And he's the reason this tackle was able to be made. Staying in his gap, because this is really the edge defender. He came on the blitz, but he's staying in his gap. Yeah. Holding him up, makes the play here, and then throws the guy down. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I like my linebackers nasty, man. Check him out here. Another really good play where we talk about making the play without making the play. Gets into his gap right here, staying strong in that gap. And what that causes is the running back tap. This is a great rundown, by the way, by 49. Fantastic rundown. But it causes the running back to, if Trevor's getting pushed out of this, the running back can come more downhill, and 49 probably doesn't get to him. Right. But since Trevor plays this so good and is able to maintain that, it allows for your teammates to come and do their job. Again, making the play without making the play. Now, I got a tag right here. Can't get nosy. This is where getting nosy gets dangerous. And this is about gap discipline, like we talked about. Knowing your gap and make sure you're maintaining and staying in your gap. Just Trevor's gap right here. Right now on defense, it looks like we are all gapped out. What gapped out means is it's a puzzle piece. I'm in this gap. Shiloh's here for the edge. He's in that gap. He's in that gap. There's no gaps open. He's in that gap. He's outside. What Trevor does just for a split second is he's right here. He gets nosy, tries to see what's going on in the backfield. And this is how important gap discipline is and how much that football is a game of inches. Because look what that turns into.
Wow.
That's all it takes. That is all it takes.
Travis on the rundown.
Yep. We got Trevor right here. Again.
Yeah.
So he doesn't finish the tackle there. That's the only negative about this. Everything else is great. As you see, when he takes on this, is it the center?
He 205 taking on offensive lineman.
And watch the pop. He's coming. And, Trevor, that's a hell of a play.
Yeah.
Doesn't finish it. Gets pushed off of it. And then I don't know what that was. Like, bro, don't. Anyways, you can't celebrate that type of play. So we got him coming right here. 75. Bam. Great play. If being undersized was it, just you know how I feel about undersized. You can play.
You can play.
The whole reason you worry about an undersized linebacker is them getting bullied by linemen. He's not getting bullied by linemen right there.
Nope.
He's coming down, being aggressive, being prepared for violence. It's a great play. And then, yeah, we just got to finish better. But this is what I want to see out of my linebackers. That's what I want to see. And we got him here. Makes another really good tackle. We'll see it from this angle. Here he is. Coming down. Sees him going out. Takes off. Now he says, okay, it's a screen. I've been talking about this since day one on this channel.
Yeah.
Getting blocks a choice.
Right.
I played in the box a lot. I played at 5'10", 195 to 200.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lineman not touching me. I done show clips in here. You not touching me. I don't care. You can be all that big. You are not touching me. You could be out here. Don't care. If you understand the game, understand how to finesse.
Yeah, I saw that. That. Good job, Trevor.
And people don't think he's a ball player.
Whoop.
This is the definition of a football player.
Mm-hmm.
The absolute definition. You can put him in any situation and they make things happen.
They do.
They're gonna
whatever you
That's
put
what my
on
coach did with me.
Dog gonna eat.
Bro, my senior year, I played snaps at corner, safety, nickel, and both linebacker positions as a 5'10", 195 pound DB, because my coach knew I was a ball player. I got clips where I'm asking my best friend Kenny, who was our middle linebacker. Coach would put me in for a play at linebacker. I'm saying, hey Kenny, what do I do? He said, hey, you got B gap. All right, bet. Tackle for loss. Like when you got a ball players understand football, man. They understand the game. They understand how things are supposed to happen. Those clips, and as y'all see, whether you're new here or not, I don't cherry pick clips. I showed a lot of plays that were negative plays that he had, and I showed a lot of positive plays. The positives by far outweigh the negatives. Like
exactly.
Trevor's a ball player. He's a ball player. Don't care about his size. I know that he can play ball, and it's obviously the coaching staff feels the same way. And
got him penciling in as a starter.
Yeah. Now, starting wise, just for our linebackers, this is the craziest thing, bro. What I'm about to say is the craziest thing ever. This was the group we liked the least going into the spring, like all offseason. Now it might be my favorite group.
Bentley and Woods, right?
Bentley, Woods, Wester, Nakai Hillgreen, Jeremiah Brown. Like this might be my favorite group.
Used to be my biggest concern because of damn crossing routes.
Yeah, right? Our early videos when we was getting 6.5 views, that's all you was talking about is linebackers. But now, since I went to your film school and got on this all 22, I'm like, man, if the defensive linemen and getting pancaked in the front or getting blown off the line, man, the linebackers ain't really gonna have. It's gonna make life easy for sure. It's gonna make life easy. And again, like you said, Trevor didn't start playing till mid-season. Wasn't even the linebacker meeting rooms and was making plays like this. So you're in a defense where the entire year they struggled with busted coverages everywhere, like all over. So you got a guy who went from playing safety. Now, what I'd assume about Trevor, I don't know Trevor, never spoke to him. The reason I was able to succeed when my coach had me in the box and stuff like that is because when I was at safety, I knew what everybody was supposed to do. And even if, like I said, that I had to ask my friend sometimes, I understand the game and could process it so quickly that even if I didn't know my responsibility, I'd be able to figure it out because I knew everybody else's responsibility. So what I'm saying is, as a linebacker, if I'm coming down, I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do as the money linebacker this play? Okay, well, I know we got a stunt, so all these guys are going to these gaps. I know Kenny, my middle linebacker, I know he has this A gap. All that leaves open is this backside B gap. Bam, that has to be my gap. So and I feel like Trevor's that type of player that he's able to understand that, is able to see things. Because, bro, there's not a lot of players in college football, safeties. There's not a lot of players, period, you can move positions instantly during the season and then see success. Not a lot of safeties that you could have do that. Like bro, when I was in camp with the Atlanta Falcons, they had to teach some of the players what defensive fronts were. Like what's an odd front versus what's an even front, what's an over front versus an under front. And I'm like, how did y'all get through college and not know what the fronts were? Like, how did y'all get here as DBs, especially safeties, and not know what everybody's supposed to be doing? So it was crazy. And you'd be surprised how many people don't know. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, because I seen how Trevor plays, that he's one of those guys that really understands how everything works. So I know you wasn't as high on him before the film. How you feeling now, being able to see it with more context and seeing him make those plays?
Yeah, man, y'all could go back and watch the old videos. I was on them linebackers. But look, after seeing this film, once again, I go back to the trenches and seeing the defensive line getting blown off the ball and no anchor sets. And a lot of times he's been in contact with the offensive lineman like all the time.
Well, before he can even make a step,
exactly, they're already there, right? But I do like Trevor, and I think Trevor's going to do some great things in this defense because I see him like in a hybrid position. Because I mean, his cover skill is a safety and just. Bro, and then coming down and he's been such a physical linebacker. Like he goes, bro. Like he goes. He ain't no.
He's coming down and hit. Yeah.
Like he's coming down. Like he ain't. This ain't no contact. This is and he's put that foot in the ground. He's gonna go. And I just think in his new defense, in his new defensive scheme, and what I'm saying, and the upgrade around him, I think he's really gonna be shining. I'd see him on the field playing some kind of hybrid joker position. I don't know what you would call it, but I could definitely see him because I think he's. I like how Bentley, when we did his breakdown, how when you said, okay, Bentley, he could go get the quarterback. And I feel like Trevor balances out because I like Trevor's coverage ability. And I like his IQ. Hey, look, if I can't get there, I'm gonna jump in the air. I'm gonna
make a play somewhere. I'm gonna affect this play.
Yeah. So I mean, man, I'm feeling it. I'm with you now. Like man, I think we straight with the linebackers. So I guess the tight end is the only one to worry about now.
Goodness gracious. And yeah, I can't call it as far as starters. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite film we've probably done so far was still Jalen Wester. Like,
really?
I love watching
that.
Jalen
Was
Wester.
Mine until I saw Bentley later in the season. And I said,
Bentley made some plays.
I said, man. And then Jeremiah Brown in the spring. I'm like, man, these linebackers.
And that's an attribute to being able to play fast. And by playing fast, not having to think. When you're not having to worry about, okay, do I know what play we're doing? Do I know what my responsibility is? If you cut the first half of the season, Levante Bentley looked like somebody we should have cut. He didn't look like he was coming down hard hitter. We saw him against TC. It just and then the end of the season, it's like, hey, he's balling. Trevor, if you just look at the UCLA film, I could see people saying, hey, I don't know if he can do it. He wasn't triggering. He wasn't anticipating. He wasn't coming downhill hard. But then Arizona, which I don't know how many games it was later, it wasn't a lot later, you see a completely different Trevor, and you see that he has what it takes to do that.
And this is all the while maintaining him in the safety room. They didn't even move him into the linebacker room, which is crazy, right?
I think he has a lot more potential.
I think I really think they're going to put as a hybrid, and I think he might be one of the most important players on the defense. And you'll see that by the time the season starts, just because I think
we talk about the interchangeable players,
and I think they're going to move him around, bro. And I like that. I agree. So I think he's going to turn out to be one of the most important players on this defense this year. Just my opinion.
and that's a video we have coming up for sure. So hey. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure y'all follow us on Patreon.
There it is.
Video first. They are getting, I'm telling y'all, there's a lot in there. And I don't even know if I mentioned it before, but the private watch parties for the games. So we are going to be having all the games just the same way you see this. You'll be able to watch the game, and we'll be over here talking about the Colorado game. So we'll be here for the part. That's going to be active. That's probably my favorite part, is being able to interact with everyone real time and just be, rooting for Colorado at the exact same time. So that's going to be really fun. So yeah, make sure y'all check us out on there, and yeah, just stay tuned. We got a lot more coming. Hopefully by the time this video is live, CT already quit his job because of how many people y'all had. How many people y'all had signed up to Patreon. But yeah, we got a lot more going. And
hey, That watch parties is live, but let me tell you guys why you need to get that $30 package. Because the watch party is cool, but when you watching the party and you got money on the game, it's just different.
Absolutely. So, man,
Look,
CT, what you got to tell them?
I gotta tell OK to evolve. Go ahead and drop our theme music.
Who's next? Who's next? Do your words match your video?
Yeah, this for my boy TKL, CT the fan. Yeah, we on that buff train, man. Yeah, them boys, they put it down. I watch them every day. Hey, they gon' put you on a belt, but they gon' put you down there where you belong. They ain't gon' care for you. Nah, they ain't gon' care for you. Yeah, they gon' love on you. They gon' tell you what to do to get yourself better. It's on you, baby. Yeah, them my boys. Well, that plan. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, baby.